From KTVN, this is 2 News Nevada, Morning Edition.
Public concern prompts the mayor of Reno to call for more transparency when it comes to overtime for the police and fire departments. We'll have reaction straight ahead.
Plus, the NTSB releases a new report on a deadly medical flight crash near Stagecoach. What they think happened inside the cockpit is straight ahead.
Cool and calm with 57 degrees walking out the door this morning. Warm day ahead, but not nearly as warm as this upcoming weekend. More details right around the corner.
Morning, and thank you for starting your Thursday with us. I'm Kyle Lauder.
And I'm Faith Justice. So glad to be with you this morning. We start with a developing story. Reno's Mayor Hillary Sheevey is calling for both the city's police and fire departments to be more transparent on their overtime practices.
So this comes after public concerns regarding the amount of overtime that some city workers make. At yesterday's city council meeting, both agencies touched on some misunderstandings surrounding this issue, including how overtime is actually given.
I think the biggest misunderstanding is that people can just pick and choose when they want to work and how much they want to work, and that it's just a free-for-all for how much overtime that there is. We do have some people that do like to work overtime, and they work more overtime than others, but that overtime would have been paid regardless of which person works it.
So the agencies also said that sometimes when looking at overtime numbers, it might look like the city is paying more when in fact there are many ways that it's reimbursed. For example, when firefighters have to go across state lines, Reno Police gets some of theirs reimbursed through grants and events. So overall, there was not much concern with city council members and the mayor on overtime impacting the city's budget.
In Money Watch, Amazon is planning to lay off more than 300 employees working at its fulfillment center in North Reno. Earlier this week, the company issued a notice to the Department of Employment, Training and Rehabilitation saying it plans to lay off 325 employees after it closes its facility on North Virginia Street in early August. It says all affected employees were given 60 days notice. Some other employees accepted internal transfers at Amazon to avoid being laid off. In a statement to our newsroom, Amazon spokesperson Steve Kelly said, quote, "As we wind down operations at our Reno Fulfillment Center, we're working closely with all affected employees to provide the latest information about transfer opportunities at other Amazon facilities in Reno and elsewhere. For employees who choose not to remain with Amazon following this closure, we're offering support through the transition." End quote.
All right, time to check in with meteorologist Barrett Vincent now. It was a beautiful day yesterday. It was warm, a little breezy. Is that going to continue today, or are we going to start to heat up?
Yes, it's going to continue today, but then we'll start to heat up Friday. Okay. And 90s in store for Saturday, so plan to get outside today. Yes, another warm one.
Yeah, it's just unnecessary.
Yeah, we've seen this 2-week period where we've been well above averages.
Well above.
Yes, and unfortunately that will continue into next week as well, but hopefully towards the end of next week, some changes in the forecast.
Well, summer is coming.
Yes, let's hold on to the optimism for the end of next week, but I'm optimistic about today, I'll tell you that much. Nice conditions out there right now with 57 degrees, not too bad. Beautiful day in store today if you like those mid to lower 80s. Pretty high on the UV scale, so do wear that sunscreen. We're warming up tomorrow into the weekend, so that's when we'll start to see those 90s as they'll officially return on Saturday and Sunday. For that dog walking forecast, upper 70s around lunchtime before 80s this afternoon, mid 80s in the forecast, just a few degrees warmer than yesterday. 81 for Washoe Valley, 81 for Pleasant Valley, 81 South Meadows, and 83 out in Somerset. Nice 81 in Cold Springs as well. So just a few degrees warmer than yesterday. If you're closer to the airport, you'll see those mid 80s. If you're around the airport in higher elevations, you'll see those lower 80s. We're seeing the last bit of this northerly flow that's bringing in those nice mid 80s before high pressure tracks in. You can see that off the Pacific. A little bit of a Rex block on the way, so those systems will cancel each other out and keep consistent 90s this weekend.
All right, Barrett, thank you. We have new details now. The National Transportation Safety Board has released its final report on a deadly medical flight crash that happened near Stagecoach more than 2 years ago. So in this report, investigators say the pilot lost control due to spatial disorientation while flying in night instrument meteorological conditions. which caused the plane to actually break apart while it was still in the air. Now, the crash killed everyone on board, including 2 care flight workers, the pilot, a passenger, and the patient.
And a developing story we're following here. Firefighters are investigating what caused a delivery van to catch on fire in Reno. According to the Reno Fire Department, the van caught fire yesterday afternoon near the intersection of McCarran Boulevard and Clearacre Lane. The driver was able to get out of the van safely and was not hurt from the fire. Crews were also able to stop the flames from spreading.
And we'll move to Crime Beat now. A man is facing several charges after allegedly leading deputies on a chase in a stolen truck. The Story County Sheriff's Office says early yesterday morning, deputies tried stopping Michael Menke of Carson City. Now, they say that he refused to pull over and then drove off at about 80 miles per hour. During the chase, deputies say Menke drove into oncoming traffic before hitting a rock wall head on. Deputies took him into custody on charges including felony evading and possession of a stolen vehicle.
A man convicted of spitting on first responders last year has been sentenced to 3 years probation. If 20-year-old Dylan Brown violates that probation, he could spend up to 5 years in prison. As we reported last August, Brown spat on first responders after they were called to his mother's home when she tried to evict him.
And coming right up on 2 News Nevada this morning.
She's the friendly face who guides rural Nevadans through housing assistance programs. Meet your someone to know after this break.